but I was telling myself it was too much money. And that was a story that I had, that it was too much money because I was very involved with money at the time and I was just looking to see how ends could meet. And I don't know if any of you guys have struggled that way, but that's how I was struggling about 5 or 6 years ago, almost six, yeah, 5 years ago. And I had gone to the Conscious Life Expo, and when I met this gentleman, he was just so warm and inviting and just very open, right? And he had like he had something that I asked him about, and I was like, "Why would you do that?" And he's like, "Well, this is what it does." And then he told me he was a cancer survivor, and he told me that he had a naughty reading, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And so I really desired one. And I went ahead and we scheduled and had him out here about 4 or 5 years ago. Other people have had these readings, but I hadn't scheduled mine yet. And I don't know what held me back, but I'm very happy that I waited until like I was in alignment with it because it was a lot. It is an exceptional amount of validation for your existence. And that is overwhelming because we go through life wondering if we belong here, like wondering if we belong here. Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Is this the right direction? And we just want to know whether or not our choices are valid. So I talk about that an awful lot. I talk about how all of our choices are right. We can never get it wrong and we never get it done. And we're infinite beings. And, we're just present right now. And we're having this beautiful, expansive experience. And in that experience, the evolution of us is what happens. And so, in all of that energy, finding yourself like that one little drop in the bucket of existential life, right? So, anyway, after a few years and hearing other people get their readings and stuff like that, I still had like this desire. But I had this thing going on with me about how I didn't feel worthy enough to spend that amount of money on myself to be able to really bring this to fruition. I finally I didn't have that story anymore. So when it came around and into my awareness again, and conscious life was coming up, I thought, you know what, it'd be really beautiful to receive a reading and then CQ. And so I went ahead and scheduled it in, I want to say it might have been June or July or August. And you have to pay to initiate the search for the bundles. So the bundle, it comes in bundles. The bundles look like books, and it is a palm leaf, a literal palm frond leaf. Okay, and they vary in size depending on how many glyphs or how many symbols are on there, because it's all symbology. All right, and it's in poetry. So it has this beautiful litany, lyrical melody to it when the oracle sings it to you. And you can tell, well, I could tell that like as the oracle was singing it, I could tell that it was me. I could feel me in all of it, and it was very amazing. So here's how the reading worked, right? So to start the search, it's $100, and you give them your fingerprint, your thumbprint. And so if you're a male, you give them your right, and if you're a female, you give them your left. And then they're able to ascertain this incarnation, what the Magi or the Maharishi, I'm sorry, what the Maharishi went ahead and scribed for you. And it's all channeled writing, and Lord Shiva is part of that. Okay. And it's just very magical. So the matching ceremony, so it takes up to 6 months to find your bundles. And they're only allowed to check out two of them at a time from any of the libraries. And they're stored all over India. Some of them are in uh, Bali and like other places, but usually pretty close to there. And so when they search, it takes up to 6 months. And mine took about 4.5, 5 months. And when we sit and there's a matching ceremony. So the matching ceremony is where they find out if this is your palm leaf. And so it starts out as like you have to write. Oops. I grabbed my paper and it just happened to be on that key. I love my life. Okay. So anyway, during the matching ceremony, they're trying to figure out if you're the match for this particular leaf. We went through one whole book, which was 108 leaves, and I wasn't in there, but it was very close. A lot of times, very close. So, like, maybe they get a son, or maybe they get a daughter, or they get like one of your parents' names, or maybe they get close to like your birthday or your sun sign, or Vedic astrology basic, and then maybe who you're married to. And so just different things. And they dwindle it down, dwindle it down, dwindle it down until it's just you, right? So part of the things that they validated, right, was they validated that my dad's name was Henry. They validated that my mom's name was Mary. And it's just very straight. It isn't, it's just very straightforward. That's just who they are. They validated who I had been married to, who another ex was, and then who I'm currently partnered with, which is Manuel. And when I heard in the matching Manuel's name, it validated all of the love that I have for him and my allowance to let him love me. It was just a really beautiful moment because I don't know, I guess I just needed that. And then all my life, I've had like these questions about different things that I know about myself. Right now, I'm going through a humbling, and it's because of the reading. And I'm measuring a lot of my shortcomings and maybe things that I would like to change about myself, about how I think and how I act. It's just really strange. And mostly that comes because um, I can see, I can see like my little child coming into fruition and becoming who it is that she was meant to be. So when I was 7, I've told people this story a lot. And so when I was 7, I was in a church, and in that church, they were telling me that I was special. And I knew that it was because that's what they felt they had to say about me. That's just how it felt, right? But they kept telling me that I was special. And so it was nice because I was getting the love that I needed. I was a very wounded child. So at 7, I was very impressionable. And so receiving this information, one day, one of the instructors who was very into Jesus and the Bible and everything was very over the top with me and very excited to tell me that I was going to become like Jesus and I was going to go and spread the gospel. And I looked at her and it felt like such a weight of realization, and I didn't know how to get out from under it. And so all my life, I tried to escape that feeling that I was going to be the next Jesus. And it sounds so grandiose and it sounds so fucking crazy and fucking, it just sounds so much, right? And I grew up with that. Like I called it a yoke because that's how I felt. I felt like I was an ox in a yoke and that I was meant to, you know, lead the way, but like it was going to be a burden. And I don't know why. And anyway, that's just what it felt like to me. So when I had the reading, one of the questions that I asked, because like I wrote down all the questions that I could think to ask, every single question. I must have had, I don't know, close to 60 or 70 questions. And they had answered every single one of them during the matching and the reading ceremony. And it was pretty magical. So at the end, like when you're supposed to ask questions, they were all answered. And one of the questions was, why did I have that calling? Why do I have that calling to be of service to so many people? Because that's what I have. I have like this huge heart that just wants for you to feel the love that the universe has for you so that you can heal and be the individual that you're meant to be. It isn't a sorrowful love, it's a very powerful love, very empowering love. And it is a space that I hold people in because I'm able to. And when I was in the reading, I found out and it got validated that that is my purpose and that is who I am. And the funny thing is that my reading also revealed that I'm meant to be a spiritual leader, and that I'm meant to share my spirituality with others. And that's a very frightening fucking place for me to be sometimes, because spirituality is so fucking messy, right? A lot of times we don't understand how impactful sharing part of ourselves with others can be. So I am sharing my knowledge that I am in my soul path. I'm in my soul path. I'm in my incarnation. I am definitely walking this with a lot of love. And it's because I'm able to be here and show up for you, because I could show up for myself. So when I went and had the reading, it was magical because it let me know that I was special. It let me know that, you know how, like, when you're growing up and you just think, you know what, there's something extra about me. Maybe not. Anyway, so for me, it was just a very extra feeling. And part of the reading, they're going to post the reading because I gave them permission to on their YouTube channel. And it will take probably 3 to 4 weeks. There'll be a little bit editing, but you'll be able to watch it at that time. Anyway, Q is going to be here Thursday night. And if you have any question about your spiritual path, your soul path, your purpose, what you want to fucking do in life, whether or not you're in the right job, the right marriage, the right relationship, whether or not you need to ditch your friends, get new friends, go get drunk, whatever the fuck it is you need, this particular reading is so beautifully done that it opens you up and empowers you to do and be that. Okay. And so that's just why I wanted to jump on here. I wanted to let you know that this coming Thursday you'll be able to meet Q, and it's a really beautiful presentation. And so if for nothing else you wanted to come and see like what it's all about and why I'm so shiny, then you can go ahead and come down to the studio on Thursday night. And I look forward to seeing you. And I love you guys so much. I have so much love for you. Thank you for showing up, and you have a great day.